All right, welcome everybody to the August 19th Administrative Services Committee meeting. First item is the approval of the minutes from July 15th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, a second? Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. That brings us to the privilege of the floor. Is there anyone here to speak to us? The privilege of the floor. Seeing none, we'll close the privilege of the floor and go to resolution number 1. Proposed resolution number 1. Transfer American Rescue Plan spending plan budget from 2023 to 2024, County Clerk's Office.
Good evening, Sam Zaffoto, Deputy Director of Finance. This resolution is to fully fund the Project 41 of the ARPA projects. The reason this was not funded fully earlier in this year with the Resolution 9924, at that time there had been an error in December of 23 on an invoice being processed in the amount of $105,000 that was incorrectly charged to ARPA Project 41. We were able to correct this during the year-end process properly in 2023, so we're just bringing forward to properly fund the project now with that correction made.
So it's a
Pretty
budget
simple.
amendment.
Any questions, comments, concerns for Sam? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. Proposed resolution number 2, amend the Chautauqua County purchasing policy.
Yep, that is me again. Yeah, this is a simple change to the purchasing policy, and the only change is increasing the purchasing staff's credit card limits from $1,000 per transaction to $2,000 to kind of give them some different flexibility as we've moved into the restructure and the purchasing restructure. But that is the change to the purchasing policy being brought forth tonight.
Glad to see it. We haven't had one of these in a while, but they were coming hot and heavy for a while.
And, Mr. Chairman, I would point out that that is the only change
Yep,
to the
the only.
purchasing policy, which we, by charter, are required to review annually.
Annually.
So the annual review has been completed, and this is the only recommended change to the policy.
Just for
Yeah.
clarification, there's two things, which has nothing to do with the change that you're talking about. It says, that what qualifies as a professional service doesn't require bidding. And I wondered if you could just, what does that mean, a professional service? Like, could you give an example?
Well, yeah, exactly. Cleaning rugs, engineering. I mean, it would be anything we're contracting out, basically, I believe. But most of that, there's a threshold on bidding and services that we can have up to a certain dollar amount, and then beyond a point, the county does have to bid out.
Okay, so it's more money related than anything
Yeah,
else?
it's been a while since I've done purchasing, but I know there was a certain threshold that the department had an ability to enter into an agreement. Beyond that, if the county as a whole was above that dollar amount, it had to be bid.
Okay, so it's more about the cost of it or
Yeah.
something. And then the other thing is the, professional service. Is that the same kind of thing?
I would believe so, yes.
This says contract, oh, the other thing is
Yeah.
contracts involving the receipt by county of revenues are not required to be bid.
Yep, that would be like the grants that we put in. We put them in through like the same process we do for an expense contract, but that would not be bid out for revenue.
Okay, yeah, thanks, I just wanted clarification.
All right. All in favor of proposed resolution number 2, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Proposed resolution number 3. Are you staying with us, Sam?
Yep, this is,
All right.
me too.
Authorizing 2025 levy of participant share of Chautauqua County self-insurance plan workers' compensation costs.
Yep, this is exactly what you said, the authorization of the 2025 levy based on the formula, which did not change to the municipalities. And Kitty did also want me to let you know if anyone had any question on any of the rates that are in this resolution, she'd be happy to share it with you. Unfortunately, she could not be here this evening.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to point out, as I usually do, that the good news is that the allocation to the towns is decreased by 4.8% from last year. So our insurance administrator has been working diligently with the towns to improve their safety, to reduce their incidents. And so another good year, another good performance that the town's cost is going down. And the cities and villages' cost went down by 0.5%, but still down. And the county allocation is essentially the same as it was last year. So not good progress, but also not bad progress either, so.
I agree.
And a non-increase is almost a decrease.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Right, Pierre?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we get into the fine print here. That's a joke. Oh, mine's real fine. How come yours is so big?
Wow, that looks like you need a
Yeah.
magnifying glass for.
Standard workday and reporting resolution. Please state your name.
Hello, Debbie Mikowski, Director of Human Resources.
Thank you so much.
So this proposed resolution, is to set the standard workdays that are reported to, New York State Local Retirement System. This is based on a record of activities, that is completed by the individuals on the table, within the proposed resolution.
I do have a question,
Mhm.
and not picking on Marcus, but
Mhm.
if you don't submit it, then
Nothing gets reported,
nothing gets reported.
So it
correct?
just shows he does nothing?
Is
Is
that
what
an
it is?
option?
Well, yeah.
Yes. The record of activities has to be completed. If it is not completed, then nothing can be reported.
Is it a 3-month period?
Yes,
Oh,
But is that accepted?
mhm.
So it doesn't have to be done. It can go in as not submitted and,
yes,
No time.
however, every county employee is contributing to NICERS, New York State local, yes. So every employee is contributing, but for those who do not punch a clock, that 3-month record of activities has to be completed so that we can then do the calculation, figure out what that standard reporting is, and then that's what gets reported.
So he just gets nothing?
Correct,
Till he reports.
correct.
okay. I'm not picking on Marcus, I just have never seen that. But,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Susan?
I just wondered if, so for example, I am not in the retirement system through my position. in
Okay.
this motion, because there was no real point for me to be able to vest any.
And I believe you are.
No?
I can double
Okay.
check, I can
Okay.
double check, cause it's, it only comes up every 2 years.
I think, I mean, without getting into the particulars, let's do a hypothetical then.
Mhm.
Cause, yeah, I am interested in my,
Right,
but I don't
right.
think that's probably the place to talk about. But are some people not in the retirement system? Let's say you worked, really your, the amount of money that you were being paid really didn't make any sense to be put into a retirement system.
From what I understand through NICERS, the only individuals who can be excluded are those who have already retired through them. So meaning if we have hired someone back who has retired from a different municipality, or even from us, and they are collecting their pension, we cannot put them into another pension account through New York State.
So if someone had a pension through New York State and had retired and was receiving retirement, then they wouldn't be part of the retirement system.
Correct. And then they would not be contributing through their county
Okay.
paycheck as
So
well.
then they would never be asked to actually
Correct.
complete one of these?
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
Just to add to that, way back when I started, way back, it was an option. Do you want to, or don't you want to?
And I believe in the last 2 to 3 years, the option
Change.
has gone away. Yes.
So what if you were grandfathered in by the option?
I don't believe it's a grandfathered situation
All
any
right, well,
longer.
I'll talk to you about it
Okay,
later. I
okay.
just was curious, cause.
You only
Yep.
make $50 a year. It's not a whole lot. Cause our
I know,
years,
I'm aware.
from mine, when I rolled over from the town, I think I have 0.3 years worth.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm not trying to get in, I just was curious, cause it always is like this select group of people.
Tom
and-
DiNapoli will send you a report every half
Yes.
year.
And I got mine,
Oh, I get mine.
and I'll
And-
share it with individuals after, but,
And full disclosure, this list has, I mean, these aren't the only individuals who are
Correct,
on a
correct.
record of activity. It just,
Correct.
when it comes before legislative
Right.
approval, it's based on when their term through NICELRS ends. So
Yeah.
you'll see these individuals would, if this is approved, their term would be covered through the end of 2025.
Right.
There are others who are on a different term.
right, mine
Time
was
frame?
mine was last year. I always look forward to that reporting coming, so.
Cause then it has your
Yeah.
name on this
Yeah,
when it comes through. But we've been moving to get more and more employees into time clocks,
Mhm.
which would eliminate the need for a record of activities. Cause then their hours are tracked in the time and attendance system, that gets reported to NICELRS.
but how do you do that when you're working from home?
You get a nap.
Phone calls, every time I call you, counts.
Oh, you're asking specifically for the
Like a
le-
legislator?
legislators. After much discussion, I have been swayed against moving the legislators into a time clock situation. So for legislators, we would continue doing the record of activities.
Cause I would need one that matched my kitchen decor.
That's right.
Have to look
Again,
like a
I have been
blueberry.
swayed against.
No, I'm teasing. Yes, okay. Anything else needed to be said about this standard workday reporting resolution that we usually don't say anything about?
Because it's not new.
But I guess I started it. So, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Carry. Okay, our next resolution, setting the salary for land surveyor. Wait a minute, haven't I seen you?
Didn't I just see you? Tim Carr, Director of Public Facilities.
Drew Rogers, Deputy Director of Public Facilities Engineering. So this resolution is to create a new title in the engineering division to potentially promote a person that's in the engineering division. We have one person who has about 28 years' experience as a land surveyor, 18 of which as a licensed land surveyor. And he has agreed to take on some additional land surveying duties within the department that would help us out. We could be able to do boundary surveys. He can certify things without having to get additional contracts from outside services. It improved efficiency and a cost-saving measure. Additionally, we recently lost another long-time employee that did a lot of the field surveying. He left for another opportunity, and so our land surveyor that we have will now have to kind of step in and provide more oversight for that work. Hopefully, we can refill that position that we person recently vacated, and then with the oversight from land surveyor, get back on track to where we were. But anyway, the existing engineering titles that we have don't really match the qualifications of what a land surveyor does. So in doing that, that's where we ended up creating, working with HR and creating a new title. So that's what's the majority of what's in that new title and basis of this resolution. But there's also, with his experience and knowledge of land use and property knowledge, he's also going to be working as our Parks Division liaison, working with the Parks Commission, point of contact with the public, and just kind of the administrative oversight of the Parks Division. And that really helps Tim and I, having some of those duties kind of removed from what our daily jobs are. So that helps there too.
Sounds good.
So is there has this person already work for the county?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. He's in a title that has a parenthetical land surveyor. He's currently in a grade 18 position, and when this was put together, came up to be a grade 23. So then and he's at the top of his step. So if this goes through and works out, he would have room to then grow also within the division too.
So will there be an initial increase in salary?
Yeah, whatever the step increase, he's top of the range now, and he'd probably end up somewhere in the middle of the 23 in the new one.
I know, Deb, you've said before, like sometimes when you go up a grade, when you are going up a grade, the actual cost is not immediately that high. Does that apply? We mean not. We've had a number of people who went from, grade this to up to the next grade, but then you would kind of give us information about the actual cost in the next year, and it was usually pretty low. I can't think of exactly which particular category it was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, because when we process any type of promotional move such as this, whatever grade and step that they're in, they would be entitled to at least 80 cents more when we move them into that higher grade. So like Drew was saying, it may drop them down to a different step.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know off the top of my head what we would be looking at cost-wise specifically for this individual. I also don't believe that there is a plan to backfill that engineer one parenthetical.
Correct.
So we would have the
Yep.
cost savings there. So maybe that's what you're referring to, that, by not.
We're not creating an
Refilling that
additional
vacant
full-time, it's
position.
just a title change.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah,
basically,
it's-
that's what you're saying, you're moving them into a different title,
Yeah.
and then are you getting rid of the previous title, or you're just sort of putting it
We
in
won't
a-
fill it.
a
Yeah.
dormant
Yeah.
sort of phase or something?
Mhm.
Okay. I guess I was kind of interested in what the actual cost increase would be.
It's probably somewhere around the $1 plus or minus an hour initial change.
Okay. Thank you.
And I said it earlier, I'll say it again in a different way. Being on the Parks Commission, he's already been a real asset to taking on the oversight, supervision of the Parks Commission. And I see it as a real positive move.
Thank you.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last resolution, reallocating salary grade for case manager, health.
Good evening, Mike Falk, Chief Medical Officer for Chautauqua County and County Health Department. We have a handful of case managers within the Health Department that this applies to. I am going to kindly ask that we table this until next month. Myself and the Public Health Director, Lacey Wilson, have some additional information we need to obtain for clarification sakes to make a better informed decision, and we'd like a little time to be able to do that.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have to do anything on that?
Yes, you do.
Motion
I'll
to
make a
table?
motion to table.
Motion to table?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Tabled, thanks. Anything else on the agenda or for the good of the committee or the county or yourselves? If not, a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to adjourn, a second
I'll second.
by somebody behind me, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried, adjourned.
Some rando behind me.
I couldn't tell. So,